Happy Friday, my 8th grade scholars. I hope you're having a wonderful day and I hope you're having a great afternoon. I apologize for not being there with you. I know this is the second time I have missed, and for that, I am deeply sorry. However, I would like us to move forward with these still lifes as much as possible in order for us to not lose or waste time and not to backtrack. So the following video is just some photo stills of the basic first steps in using line, shape, and form to create a detailed still life of realistic objects. My expectation for you is that you have at least the basic outline, the base outline, like we discussed in our previous class, of these shapes and forms of the food for Hispanic Heritage Month, so that next week we can really get into how to draw the details as well as adding shading. So please follow along with the descriptions of the upcoming photo stills on the basic shapes in order for you to meet that expectation for next week. So this photo still right here is just a sample of what we did within the previous week, which was we tested out the different steps of using a basic shape to create the base outline for an actual object like this apple. In the slides, on slide 26, you'll see there are the steps for using a basic circle shape to create then the full form of the apple. And we're only doing the first two steps today because I just want you to take your time and use pencil lightly to create this base outline for next week. So if you want to take some time to test out the basic shape base outline with the apple first, please do so and show it within your work on the back of your project. All right, just take a little bit of time to practice if you were not there last week or if you just need a little bit of a review. However, if you're ready to move on to the next step, then the following still will show you the first step of a base outline for the Hispanic food still life. Also, shout out to Mr. Antonio Ornedo for adding his little remix to our Apple still life practice, because look at those funky little figure legs. Hilarious. So this first photo is the first step of making the base outline, which is to create the surface that the food is on. Now, many of you have asked if you had to also add the smaller plates that are in the background. You do not. I am mainly expecting you to focus on the main plate in the center of the photo. That is your main subject. That is what you should be focusing on. So for many of us, we have a oval or ellipse shape because of the side angle that the photo of the food is taken. And this is important to note because it is crucial for a still life and for any life drawing lesson that you draw what you see, not what you know. Okay? You know that that plate is a perfect circle or a perfect exact rectangle or square, but because of the view, we have to draw what we see in order for it to feel more realistic. So very lightly with your pencil, take time to assess what shape that plate or surface is and perform a ellipse if it is a circle or a bowl. And if it is a square or rectangle, try to match the side angle using a diamond shape instead of a square. You want to do almost a squished diamond. Think of it like you're pulling the sides of the diamond to stretch it out, and it will create the same effect as this narrow ellipse oval form. This next step is where I take the biggest shape of the still life in the photo and I create its basic shape by just looking over it and seeing how can I break this down into just a basic geometric shape. And the rice that is present in my still life has a oval or half circle shape to it, and so I'm going to attempt to make a half circle upside down bowl shape. I did this simply by creating an archway, like an upside down U that goes over, and creating a slight smile at the bottom to complete that oval shape. I want you to now take this time to look at your own still life and find the biggest object of food within the still life. Assess what basic shape could be made. Maybe it's not even a shape that you can put a name to because of the strange angles of the food. However, if it is the biggest object in the still life, you want to proportion that on your page first, lightly in pencil, before you get into the nitty-gritty of the littler details. So take a moment to do that now, and you can pause this video until you are ready to move forward. Okay, so this final step that I'm going to show you is just the beginning of the smaller objects and finding their basic shapes and forms within the still life. If you notice, I specifically picked out a type of pepper, another, I believe that's a jalapeno that's been uncored, and another little pepper that kind of sits next to them. If you notice, these shapes are not easy geometrics all the time. Some of them are very strange, organic shapes. And the reason we know they're organic is because, not only because they're food, okay? It's not because the food is organic. I know one of you is going to make that joke. But it's because they don't follow the format of any geometric shapes we are familiar with. And because of that, we have to play by their rules. Remember, you are drawing what you see, not what you know. And if you see these strange little looping figures or shapes as you move through the different foods in your still life, then that is what you should be drawing. Okay, so please take another moment to try and perform this on your paper. Analyze your printout of the food very carefully and make sure that throughout this entire process you are working very lightly in pencil. The reason why I emphasize this is because if you are going to make a mistake, it's okay to make a mistake. It's always okay to make a mistake, especially in a class like this where trial and error is just part of the process. However, what's not okay is you messing up your paper because you put a lot of pressure on your pencil. It's only going to frustrate you more in the later processes of coloring and shading the still life. So take your time. I'm only asking for a completed base outline. And if you look in the classroom, there on the demo lesson center table is the completed base outline that Ms. Acevedo, me, has provided for you to look at while you are completing this step. All right, scholars, so that is the end of the supplementary tutorial, and I hope that it was helpful in some way, shape, or form to what you needed to do for next week. I know that it's never going to be as helpful as when I'm in the classroom. However, I put a lot of work into these videos, both for your sake and for mine, because what really bothers me is the idea that my Friday scholars are a step behind the rest of the students who see me throughout the week because of this absence. And it really matters to me that you are given every opportunity to succeed just as much as the rest of your peers who see me throughout the week. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, be it about the Still Life project or how else this video could have been maneuvered to benefit your learning, is never a bad time to advocate for yourself and for your needs. So do not hesitate to reach out exactly via the direct message on Clever, where you found the link for these slides and for this video. Otherwise, I wish you all a wonderful day. I hope today went well and that I see you all next week. But have a wonderful weekend and take care.